Fast forward to 2025, and Sudan is still in the grip of that war. But one side, Al-Burhan and the Sudanese armed forces, has regained some ground, reclaiming parts of Khartoum and other strategic areas from the RSF. In April 2025, Al-Burhan appointed a new acting prime minister, Dafala Al-Haj Ali, a former diplomat, to head a technocratic transitional government. Now, this new leadership claims that it's committed to a roadmap for peace, national dialogue, eventually, elections. But here's the problem. With millions displaced, the country still divided, and foreign actors deep in the game, can any transitional government really move forward without dealing with the war and those fueling it? So while Sudan has a government on paper, on the ground, it's still a country fighting for its future. And the price of that fight, it's not just political, it's deeply, painfully human. Because this isn't just a war between two military factions. It's a war being waged on people, on families, on futures. Since the fighting began in April 2023, over 14 million people have been displaced. Nearly 25 million people in Sudan now need humanitarian aid. That's more than half the entire country. And still, aid can't get through. Why? Because the war has destroyed roads, bombed hospitals, and turned food warehouses into battlegrounds. Just last week, RSF drone strikes hit Port Sudan, targeting fuel depots and even the main port, cutting off one of the last supply routes for humanitarian aid. In Darfur, the situation is being described as ethnic cleansing again. Villages torched, women assaulted, mass graves uncovered. People who survived the genocide in the early 2000s are now living through it again. Just 2 decades later, the UN is calling it the world's worst hunger crisis in 2025. But Sudanese families, they don't need another label. What they need is food. They need safety. They need peace. So here's the question. Why is a war this catastrophic being met with silence, with inaction? Is it because Sudan isn't strategic enough? Is it because the victims are Black? Is it because there's no oil contract or NATO interest on the line? Whatever the reason, this silence is complicity. And it speaks volumes about whose lives the world chooses to value and whose pain it's willing to ignore. Very much like Haiti. So we have to ask, who benefits from that silence? And what happens when the rest of the world pretends not to see?